Good evening, everyone. So good to see you here. Welcome to our 10th Interfaith Service of Gratitude, if you can believe it. The first one that we've had this time of year, but it's just so wonderful to see all of you here. I am Jenny Ott. I'm the minister here at Lake Oswego United Church of Christ. And on behalf of our congregation, on behalf of Rabbi Alan Berg and Cantor Ann Brown from Beit Haverim, and also on behalf of our friends from the Lake Oswego Baha'i community, it's my joy to welcome you here this evening. Thank you for coming and being here tonight. It is in times like these, times of division, injustice, violence, that nights like these matter, and services like this matter, where we can come together across faiths because of our shared values in inclusion and justice. We can come together to share in practices, our spiritual practices that ground us and connect us. We get to sing together tonight, and we come together to remember that we are rooted in the love of the divine, and that we are stronger when we are together. So I just want to thank you all again for being here tonight. The theme of our service is gratitude, so that's what you'll be hearing in terms of the readings and the music and the reflections. Gratitude for our faiths, gratitude for each other, gratitude for this beautiful earth, which is our home. And so in that spirit of gratitude, I just want to say a huge thanks to our planning team who has been working for months on this. So if you are on the planning team, would you just raise your hand so we can acknowledge you? We are so grateful for you and all your work, so thank you so much. After our service tonight, we will have a reception with pie, so please plan to stay for that. That will be in our fellowship hall. And as we worship and as we sing and as we listen together and get to know each other better tonight, may we just be open to that spirit of the divine that is in each one of us and that binds us together. So at this time, I want to invite up Rabbi Alan Berg and Cantor Ann Brown, who will lead us in the Havdalah ceremony.
Thank you, Reverend Jenny. And I'm Rabbi Berg, and it's such a pleasure to be together this evening and to experience at this moment in the history of our hearts, to experience what I would call this evening, as you will discover as the evening unfolds, what I'm calling a unity of the Sabbaths. We are beginning our service with the concluding ritual, which is a different kind of a Jewish ritual, not really well known unless you experience it, that concludes the Sabbath. And it carries many themes that we're going to include in our hearts this evening. So I'm going to first explain. The word Havdalah, if you're familiar with one of the first verses from Genesis, it says that God made a separation between, and the word separation is lahavdil in Hebrew, and Havdalah means the separation. It's just a break between the Sabbath and acknowledging that it's ending. But at the end of the service this evening, we're going to commence the Sabbath of the faith that we share this holy mission with. And so there's a unity of the Sabbaths. But in this closing ritual, there's several symbols. One is the Havdalah candle. You can see here there's supposed to be several wicks representing the intertwined nature of all of us together. And when it's lit as one, the prayer that we're going to sing, and it's probably going to be on the screen for you to join along with us, is Me'orei Ha'esh. We bless God for creating a light that is beyond fire, like the light of the first day, let there be light, that kind of light. And another symbol, it's actually the first symbol, is a lifting of the cup of the sweet juice or wine, because that's what we begin the Sabbath with, and we'll see that this ritual has that. And the second prayer, so the candle's the third, the wine's the first. The second prayer is a prayer over a mixture of spices, just like the wicks of the candle. The mixture of the spices, there's 2 spice boxes here, and we're going to pass them to be enjoyed during the prayer. They also represent the mixture of all of us in the world, and how when it comes together, it creates a sweet savor. And that's the Havdalah service. So you'll get to see, we sing it, it comes and goes kind of quickly. You can follow along with our cantor. It's got a melody by the great contemporary Jewish composer, Debbie Friedman. I'm going to ask you to stand up. And sort of as if you're comfortable standing up, only if it's comfy. And sing along, and it's as if it's a friendship circle that we are forming with our arms around each other. And I'm going to begin by lighting this candle. And oh, I notice there was sitting in the rabbi's office next door here a little thing that says, "Make every day Earth Day." And it says, "Good job." And from the earth it says, "Good job, you helped the earth." So that's our message for tonight. You just join in with Anne.
This part you can all sing along with. La 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 ya la 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 ya la la ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la 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 ya la la Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei pri hagafen borei pri hagafen yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 ya la lai lai ya la lai yai lai 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 yai lai 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 ya lai 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 Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam borei minei vesamim borei minei vesamim borei minei vesamim yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 ya la lai lai ya la lai yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 ya la lai lai ya la lai Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam meorei ha'esh meorei ha'esh meorei ha'esh lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 ya la lai lai ya la lai yai lai 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 yai lai 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 yai lai 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 ya la lai we now bless everything that is holy, the separation between Shabbat and the rest of the week. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam hamavdil ben kodesh lechol hamavdil ben kodesh lechol yai lai 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 yai lai 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 ya la lai lai ya la lai yai lai 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 ya lai 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 yai lai 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 ya lai 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 ya lai lai
We, the members of our faith communities, acknowledge that we occupy stolen lands that originally provided sustenance and shelter for the Clackamas Chinook, the Willamette Tumwater, the Wasco Wishram, the Multnomah and other Chinookan peoples, as well as the Tualatin, Kayapuya, the Molala, the Klickitat, and other tribes and bands who continue to be our neighbors today. We acknowledge and lament that our ancestors in faith participated in this theft and that we are the beneficiaries of it. With humility, we pledge to work toward reconciliation with our Indigenous siblings through action and education.
We must be like the fountain or spring that is continually emptying itself of all that it has and is continually being refilled from an invisible source, from an invisible source, to be continually giving out for the good of our fellows, undeterred by fear of poverty and reliant on the unfailing bounty of the source of all wealth and all good. This is the secret of right living. From an invisible source, from an invisible source, to be continually giving out for the good of our fellows, undeterred by fear of poverty and reliant on the unfailing bounty of the source of all wealth and all good. This is the secret of right living, the source of all wealth and all good. This is the secret of right living.
I begin with a prayer of gratitude for all that is holy in my life. God needs no words, no English or Hebrew, no semantics, and no services, but I need them. Through prayer, I can sense my inner strength, my inner purpose, my inner joy, my capacity to love. As I reach upward in prayer, I sense these qualities in my Creator. To love God is to love each other, to work to make our lives better. To love God is to love the world God created and to work to perfect it. To love God is to dream dreams of peace and joy that illumine all of us, and to bring that vision to life.
In the Bible, after humans, the next member of creation that shows up the most are trees. The first thing we're told about trees is that they add beauty to the world. Trees inspire awe and capture our imagination. Trees have been reproduced in art and have been the backdrop for some of the great stories in literature and mythology. That God would be concerned with beauty is something worthy of more consideration than it usually receives. Trees are tall and majestic. They are sturdy and strong. They contain beautiful shapes and colors. They even smell nice. And trees are beneficial to life. Trees help fight climate change. They boost our mental and physical health. Trees clean the air so we can breathe more easily. And trees and forests provide habitat for a diversity of life. Trees cool the air, and trees and forests filter your water, making your drinking supply cleaner and more reliable. Truly, trees are necessary for life and a plant worthy of our gratitude and care. Rising up behind our church building, we are lucky to have our own little forest. It's about 1.5 acres and filled with trees of various kinds and ages, some small, just beginning their life, some tall and majestic, and some old and decaying. It is a clear example of the circle of life, and yet some of these trees do not belong here. We used to say invasive, but truth be told, they are just trees where they do not belong, but are so happy here that they propagate and crowd out other trees. Why is this a problem? When this forest and ecosystem formed, it allowed specialization to occur, which is the adaptation of organisms to specific habitat conditions. These conditions provide food and homes for insects and animals that have evolved to live here. Plants from other parts of the world that did not evolve here most often do not provide the habitat that our local animals need. So we do our best to remove them and replant with the type of plant that fits our ecosystem. We have partnered with Tryon Creek Watershed Council to accomplish this. If you wander up into our woods, you will see that some trees have red ribbons around them. These are ones who do not fit our ecosystem and are marked for removal. That will hopefully be done later this year. We have already replanted native trees to fill in where trees will be removed. It is the process of healing our woods and its ecosystem. As it says in Genesis 1, we are called to be caretakers of all of God's creation. You can spend time in our woods by wandering up to our meditation garden. There's a trail that leaves the parking lot just past the rabbi's office. From there, it wanders across to where you will find the sign, Gary Davis Meditation Garden. As you continue up the trail and a set of stairs with a handrail, you will find benches nestled in our woods, overlooking Spirit Creek. There you can stop, sit, listen, and watch the life flowing through it. We hope that you will take the time to wander up there sometime and enjoy what our woods has to offer. And perhaps give a tree a hug and say thanks.
Please join me in responsive reading. We are called into life, destiny uncertain, Yet we offer thanks for what we know, for health, for healing, for labor and repose, for renewal of beauty in earth and sky, for that blend of human holy which inspires compassion, and for hope, eternal promising life, for health, for hope. All for beautiful blessing, all praise to the source of being.
In gratitude, I bow to this land and all of the ancestors who made it available. I see that I am whole, protected, and nourished by this land and all the living beings that have been here and made life worthwhile and possible for me through all of their efforts. I see Chief Seattle, Dorothy Day, Dolores Huerta, Martin Luther King Jr., and all the others known and unknown. I see those who have worked hard to build schools, hospitals, bridges, and roads, to protect human rights, to develop science and technology, and to fight for freedom and social justice. I see myself touching my ancestors of Native American origin who have lived on this land for such a long time and know the ways to live in peace and harmony with nature, protecting the mountains, forests, animals, and vegetation and minerals of this land. I feel the energy of this land penetrating my body and soul, supporting and accepting me. I vow to cultivate and maintain this energy and transmit it to future generations. I vow to contribute my part in transforming the violence, hatred, and delusion that still lie deep in the consciousness of this society so that future generations will have more safety, joy, and peace. I ask this land for its protection and support.
This next song, The Essence of Faith, is a simple song some of you may be familiar with. It is a meditation, but an upbeat meditation, but also a rallying cry for faith to demonstrate itself in action and in deeds, and in particular in deeds of service, and that your life is a vindication of the truth that all humanity is one. And so there's only three lines in the song. The essence of faith is fewness of words and abundance of deeds. The chorus is, ye are all the leaves of one branch and the fruits of one tree. And then the third line, strive then with heart and soul to distinguish yourselves by your deeds. And it works best if the chorus is sung. So for those of you who know it, you can sing along, and I'm going to just teach you quickly the chorus so that you've already proven you could sing earlier, so there's no excuse. So the chorus is, ye are all the leaves of one branch and the fruits of one tree. One more time. Ye are all the leaves of one branch and the fruits of one tree. So when you hear that coming, just join right in. Okay. The essence of faith is fewness of words and abundance of deeds. The essence of faith is fewness of words and abundance of deeds. You're all the leaves. Ye are all the leaves of one branch and the fruits of one tree. Ye are all the leaves of one branch and the fruits of one tree. Strive then with heart and soul to distinguish yourselves by your deeds. Strive then with heart and soul to distinguish yourselves by your deeds. Ye are all the leaves of one branch and the fruits of one tree. Ye are all the leaves of one branch and the fruits of one tree. Okay, think you've got it? Okay. Get ready then. From the top. The essence of faith is fewness of words and abundance of deeds. The essence of faith is fewness of words and abundance of deeds. Here are all the leaves. Ye are all the leaves of one branch and the fruits of one tree. One more time. Ye are all the leaves of one branch and the fruits of one tree. Strive then with heart and soul to distinguish yourselves by your deeds. Strive then with heart and soul to distinguish yourselves by your deeds. All right, you're all the leaves. Ye are all the leaves of one branch and the fruits of one tree. Again, you're all the leaves. Ye are all the leaves 6%. Ye are all the leaves of one branch, and the fruits of one tree. Finally, 100% all together now. Ye are all the leaves of one branch, and the fruits of one tree.
A Vision by Wendell Berry. If we have the wisdom to survive, to stand like a slow-growing tree on a ruined place, renewing, enriching it, if we make our seasons welcome here, asking not too much of earth or heaven, then a long time after we are dead, the lives our lives prepare will live here. Their houses strongly placed upon the valley sides, fields and gardens rich in the windows. The rivers will run clear as we will never know it, and over it, birdsong like a canopy. On the levels of the hills will be green meadows, stock bells in noon shade. On the steeps where greed and ignorance cut down the old forest, a new old forest will stand, its rich leaf fall drifting into its roots. The veins of forgotten springs will have opened. Families will be singing in the fields. In their voices they will hear a music risen out of the ground. They will take nothing from the ground. They will not return, whatever the grief in parting. Memory, native to this valley, will spread over it like a grove. Memory will grow into a legend, legend into song, song into sacrament. The abundance of this place, the songs of its people and its birds, will be health, wisdom, and indwelling light. This is no paradisial dream. This hardship is its possibility.
So you're welcome to stand up in body or in spirit for this next one. It's kind of lively, you'll see. And we have Mary Cox on tambourine. You shall go out with joy and be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills will break forth before you. There'll be shouts of joy, and all the trees of the field will clap their hands. And all the trees of the field will clap their hands. The trees of the field will clap their hands. The trees of the field will clap their hands while you go out with joy. You shall go out with joy and be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills will break forth before you. There'll be shouts of joy, and all the trees of the field will clap their hands. And all the trees of the field will clap their hands. The trees of the field will clap their hands. The trees of the field will clap their hands while you go out with joy. You shall go out with joy and be led forth with peace. The mountains and the hills will break forth before you. There'll be shouts of joy, and all the trees of the field will clap their hands. And all the trees of the field will clap their hands. The trees of the field will clap their hands. The trees of the field will clap their hands while you go out with joy. And shout with you, go out with joy.
That was a lot like klezmer and absolutely off the charts. Thank you. All the beautiful sounds of the human voices this evening. Loving the earth translates as knowing every bomb dropped takes the lives of animals, destroying all trees, and people who are like us, all the descendants of Eve and Adam. What happened to the water of the 4 rivers that flowed from Eden? It is said that one of those rivers flowed over King Hezekiah's aqueduct into the world. I think you can look at any river and know right away if it is one of those 4 rivers from the Garden of Eden. Like you look at the Columbia and just know it's one of those 4 rivers. Oregon in Hebrew, Or Hagan, means light from the garden. We pray on this earth evening that we may be the light that protects the garden, the earth. When we come to this holy space, the earth has a day every day, paths and plants. I'm sure your home spaces are the same. As the antecedent of Wendell Berry wrote, this is from Walt Whitman, I believe a leaf of grass is no less than the journey work of the stars. And a grain of sand and the egg of the wren are each as perfect as the whole. Afoot and light-hearted, I take to the open road, healthy, free, the world before me, the long brown path before me leading wherever I choose. I saw a live oak growing, all alone stood it, uttering joyous leaves of dark green, without any companion, yet full of life. Behold this compost, behold it well. The grass of spring covers the prairies. The resurrection of the wheat appears out of its graves. What chemistry, what renewal.
Well, friends, it's such a joy to be here tonight, and just been a joy to experience the music and the readings and the reflections, and it makes me just so grateful for our communities and for the ways that we can come together in these times. Some of you may know I'm from the East Coast originally, from Pittsfield, Massachusetts, where you won't believe it, but Rabbi Berg was a rabbi in Pittsfield, Massachusetts, when I lived there in the early 80s. So we crossed paths again, which is wonderful. But I came out here 16 years ago, and one of the things that drew me to the West Coast, aside from this amazing congregation, was just the landscape and the scale of everything here, the mountains and the ocean, and then the trees, just the trees. I have 2 giant sequoias in my backyard that are huge. And the first the full summer that I was here, my wife and I took a drive down the Oregon coast and into Northern California because we wanted to see these redwoods that we had always heard about. And you all may know this if you're native here. I only learned it since I've lived here, but redwoods, they grow up like hundreds of feet tall. But they grow in groves, and that's because their roots only go down about 5 or 6 feet. And instead, the roots grow out They can grow out 100 feet or more. And so their roots all entangle with each other. And that's so, of course, they can share nutrients, they can communicate, but also because when the wind blows, then they hold each other steady. And I just think that's such a wonderful metaphor for us tonight, that we are all our own trees, Christian, Jewish, Baha'i, but we are rooted and our roots connect and we hold each other up. And when the winds blow in these times, we are here just to steady each other and to remind each other to stay strong. And tonight is just such a perfect example of that. So as Rabbi Berg mentioned earlier, we opened our service with the Havdalah ceremony, and we're going to almost close our service with how we begin each Sunday service at Lake Oswego UCC, which is a practice called statio. This is a monastic practice. It comes from the Latin word which means station or position or watch, and it's basically just a holy pause. The idea is that we stop one thing before we start something else. And before we start our services, we come to just try to be centered and grounded. You all know from your lives that so often your body can be in one place, but your mind is someplace else. And so this is a time to just come back to center and center mind, heart, and body. It's a time when we breathe in. We breathe in the spirit, the ruach, the breath that holds all of us together, that animates each of us. And it's that same breath that reminds us, like the redwoods, we are connected to each other. And so that statio helps us let go of our individual lives for a moment and come together into this communal time of worship. So it's a wonderful way to begin the Sabbath. It's a wonderful way to be reminded of just rest, renewal, groundedness, and centeredness. In our worship service, we ring our singing bowl, which I will do in a minute, and then we usually have about a minute of silence of that groundedness. But it is a practice that you can do on your own anytime at a red light. You can sit at your table before you get up to do the dishes, and it's just a moment to pause, to breathe, and to give thanks for this gift of life. So I will ring us now in for the statio and just invite us into a minute of silence.
song was taught to me about 4 hours before our first gratitude service when Cheryl Zimmerman called me and said, "Hey, you want to learn a new song for tomorrow?" And I was like, "Yeah." And there you are. And I have to tell you that every time I sing it, I hear your beautiful voice singing with me. So sing loud from the back of the room. Give light, give light, and people will find a way. Give light, and people will find a way. Give light, and people will find a way. People will find the way, I do believe. Stand together, stand together, and people will find a way. Stand together, and people will find a way. Stand together, and people will find a way. People will find a way, I do believe. Teach peace, and people will find a way. We've got to teach peace, and people will find a way. Teach peace, and people will find a way. People will find a way, I do believe. Give light, and people will find. We've got to give light. People will find a way. Give light, and people will find a way. People will find a way, I do believe. Give light, and people will find. We've got to give light, and people will find a way. Give light, and people will find a way. People will find the way, I do believe.
Thank you so much, Anne. Thank you to all of you for being here tonight. And again, a huge thanks to our planning team and to everyone who helped sing, read, lead, play. It's just such a joy, again, to be together tonight. As a reminder, everyone is invited after our service to our reception in the fellowship hall just out these doors and down the hall, where there will be lots of pie and time for conversation and connection. Also, as we leave tonight, our planning team has a gift for you. They will be giving you little seeded paper to take home and plant in gratitude for what we have experienced tonight and in gratitude for our earth. So please make sure you get one of those as you leave. And now, friends, I just invite you to receive this blessing. We are the beloved of God. So may we go this night grounded in that love of God, grateful for the connections that we have with one another, and continuing to grow into the people and the communities that the Holy One calls us to be. Let us go in peace and love and gratitude. Amen.